So, welcome everyone. I'm Alexander Mihalcea, and today we have one of the industry leaders, Anastasiia Bilous, CEO of Hitplix. Welcome, Anastasiia. How are you doing today?
Hello, very good. Thank you very much, and thank you for having me here.
Good and awesome because I'm excited to have you on the podcast today, and I'm sure you're going to be of great value for the audience.
Thank you. Let's make it happen.
Right. And before we dive in, could you give us a quick overview of what Hitpixel does?
Sure, of course. So our company was founded actually around almost 20 years ago, and we started working with affiliate traffic back at those wild times. And of course, with everything which is being, changing in the world, we involved as well a lot. And right now we cover a lot of different areas and aspects. We work both in B2B and B2C. So we work in B2C owning our own, for example, AI chat platforms or our payment processing or our fraud alerts or our traffic optimization platform. But we also allow our clients and partners like B2B to use that for their own businesses because we are
Yeah.
absolutely fine with sharing, everything that we've built in house. And I think that the biggest benefit, for our clients and partners is that we also use our platforms for our own products and businesses,
Mhm.
right? For our B2C side. So we know what exactly, the challenges are, what the issues are, what the marketing managers might need, what the payment managers might be needing, what's happening in the
Yeah.
industry where we need to be focused. So that's a great then combination of the knowledge, skills, and understanding of the real market, because we do the business, right, and invest a lot of money into daily operations to improve those platforms which then our partners and clients can benefit from.
Right, right. And that's fascinating. And basically, what inspired you to join Hitpixel? Was there a specific moment or experience that sparked this journey?
Interesting question. I think it was a good combination of different factors. Number one is that the company is truly globally distributed. We are presented on almost all continents and many countries, which brings a great, blend of the best people who needed, to the company. And I'm excited to work with the best talents across the world as CEO. That's, I think the biggest benefit for me. Also,
Yeah.
the core team of the founders working together for many, many years, and it's a very stable, friendly environment, open minded, where we can sit, around the table and discuss, big decisions, strategic, decisions all together on like one level. And third, I think it's actually the diversity of opportunities is that we work in so many different directions, niches, business models, geos, etc. So it gives me huge opportunities, how
Yeah.
to develop the businesses, how to develop the team, how to develop myself, growing with all the new technologies and opportunities. So this blend, and combination played a significant role in this.
Right, right. That's very interesting. And what was your background before starting this venture?
I interestingly work in IT for many, many years and started accidentally. I lived at that time in the US and started and was responsible for the offline marketing. Back at that times, it was, the kind of a
Yeah.
marketing which existed, and then started to play a little bit with online marketing. And that's how on one of the forums, one of the startup companies in Berlin, Germany, has found me and invited me to move to Berlin to build together with them that startup. And that's how my career kind of started. So I moved there as online actually marketing manager, but the product was not done yet. And I was like, all right, let me then, become the product manager and actually lead everything because I want to speed up the process. I have nothing to advertise if I do not have
Yeah.
the service or the product. So, and that's how it started. And my key focus is used to work in high risk businesses, which involves e-commerce, which involves dating, gaming, a little bit sport, fitness areas. So where it's high stake but high risk as well. And for
Yeah.
the last more than 12 years, I am CEO of some of the businesses, right, and the same position holding now. So yeah, that's kind of my, like, in the short version, my path. And it was always a combination of working in both bigger companies, as for example hitpixel right now, yeah, but also working with the startups. I was the head of M&A process, for example, in one of the Silicon Valley
Okay.
VCs, and I was responsible afterward for the mentorship and leading startups, to grow, to achieve their KPIs. So for me, it was always the balance in, big kind of corporations,
Yeah.
companies, and startups.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense now. And let's go back to when you first started because I think this is very interesting. So, what major challenges or gaps did you see in the market that made you think this needs to be solved?
When I started, you mean many, many years ago?
Yeah, I mean, with the solutions of what Hit Pixels offer now.
Ah, the pixel. Okay, okay. Now
Yeah.
it makes sense. I was like, at that time, everything was new. My first project was the MVNO platform. Again, 15 years ago. So we built the platform on which so it's connected TV, mobile phone, and computer, and you could read the book, for example, from phone, and then open it on the same page, on
Okay.
laptop, or you can watch movie from TV and then open on the same minute, on the phone. At that time, it was like a revolution. We actually
Yeah.
successfully sold that startup to one of the big Taiwan TV production manufacturer companies. So, I mean, that time it was completely different, right? But right now, everything is around, I think, in this world is very going and happening fast, and especially with AI, of course, every day, something changing, improving, and to be competitive now in the any industry, you really need to be fast, you need to be innovative, and you need to be ready for the experiments. And I think
Right.
this mindset of the startup, to have the idea, to have the need from the audience for that idea, and understanding how to fix what's the solution, with this startup mindset, it was kind of easy for me and good for the company, for Hitpixel to join, because we are ready to invest into different projects internally inside of our
Yeah.
company. We are ready to build, different businesses, test and see, what we can do there. And we also follow this like mindset, the startup with the dedicated budget, teams, like all the KPIs and everything. So we treat it as, separate projects, and we take care of that as a separate startups, inside of our big company. And I think, yeah, that's important.
Yeah, yeah, right, 100%. But for example, what are the key challenges that startups face in pitching, funding, and scaling their businesses?
Right. I also didn't mention that here in Switzerland, I lead the startup battles. We do it quarterly in Zurich already for 6 years. And on this topic, about the challenges that startups face, I can talk actually for days, but I will try, to shorten it, because I also consult startup founders, to get ready for those pitches. So I will just name a couple of the ideas, a couple of the things that I talk about. So we can break it down, right, as you already mentioned, into a couple of blocks. So first one is definitely pitching challenge, and that's the first, touching point with the
Yeah.
potential investors. And the biggest problem I see in this is that startups struggle to pitch effectively due to the lack of personalization to the specific investor. So they prepare one pitch deck and think that it will work, for whatever startup battle or whatever opportunity they have. And that's absolutely not true. You need to treat pitching as absolutely as a sales strategy, and sales strategy cannot be, the strategy itself, it can be unified, but then,
Right.
when you talk to different people, it have to be really personalized. And that you need to be able also quickly to adjust and in seconds to get the right message to the right audience. So that's number one. Number two is that startup founders often present overly optimistic projections without any clear plan, and
Hmm.
focus more on the long list of features that they want to develop, build,
Yeah.
add to their products, rather than the core value proposition. And so that's one part. And another, that only like really 1% of the startup founders, maybe two, are ready to acknowledge key risks and explain, plan A, B, C, D,
Yeah.
how to avoid those risks. And that's very important, because if investors see the risk which startup founder doesn't understand, they immediately lose any trust in the, in that project, because they're afraid that the founder will be not able to manage it safely, and deliver all the big plans that he has in mind. So that's on the pitching, challenges. If we move now to the funding challenges, here the biggest issue, it's again like chicken and egg, that
Yeah.
it's not enough proven track record or market traction for the first time founders. They come unprepared, they come with big ideas, and big vision and plans and everything, but unfortunately that doesn't sell anymore. It was working 10
Right.
years ago, but right now all the investors, whoever it is, angel investor, VC, some competition, some fund, whatever, you go, it's all about the numbers. And the bigger your track record, that you can show, and like by the numbers, better, higher chances that you will actually get funding, by the end of the day.
Hmm.
That's number one. Number two is that often startup founders come from different areas, doesn't matter, and they have just a limited network of investor connections. And that, of course, an issue and a problem, then where to search. And what they do, they just open, the top VC funds and start to send, just generic emails, to whatever email addresses they will find. Of course, it doesn't also work that well, because again, right now, everyone is overwhelmed with all the ideas, and suggestions. So you need to be smarter. You need to work also on your networking, on your connections, either online or offline. Both
Exactly.
actually are good, to get as much as possible, because you never know what will be working out for you. But you need to keep it as a potential startup founder, that definitely in focus, and yeah, the funding challenges challenge, what was it, number three probably, yeah. The big
Yeah.
the big deal breaker, I think, is the valuation discrepancies, where founders and investors disagree on the company's worth and all the ongoing challenges. And then just because founders cannot prove why they think that the company is worth what they have in mind, the deal doesn't happen at the end of the day, after wasting of a lot of, discussions, presentations, a lot of time and everything,
Right.
it failed just because of that. So please know your numbers and be ready to protect it if you're confident, if you see, that the investors actually making valuable suggestion, etc. Be also flexible, especially as the first time founder, but so yeah, be smart, on this, and know your
Yeah.
numbers. That will be the short recommendation.
Yeah. Great.
So
And
yeah, that would be
my advice
my
is,
advice.
yeah, right, right, right. Great advice, though.
Thank you.
And For example, what are the key strategies? Because you mentioned this, and I think this is very interesting. What are the key strategies for success in high risk B2C businesses like online dating and e-commerce?
Ah, strategies. Okay, let's then start. I don't know. Let's start with online dating. Yeah. Succeeding in general in high risk B2C businesses like online dating or e commerce requires a blend, a combination of building a trustworthy brand, leveraging data for personalization, and I will talk a little bit more about it, and also mastering the all the challenges of the industries, and these industries are very very high competitive, very dynamic, very evolving. The stake of the risk is very high, and because the cost of traffic acquisitions are high as well, so each mistake leads to the
Yeah,
big issues and problems. If we talk about dating, for example, I would say that number one challenge is to actually gain the trust from the users that it's safe, especially for women, for the female audience. And this is non negotiable. I think that successful dating platforms invest heavily in the most secure verification processes like photo verification, ID checks, AI driven moderation system, etc.,
yeah,
etc. Because otherwise, I think it's like other companies in this area, in this industry, should not even exist. So that's number
yeah,
one, is the trust and safety.
yeah.
Number two is that there are so many, swipe right, swipe left solutions right now. So it just doesn't work any longer. You will be not able to compete with all those big names, or big budgets behind that, marketing budgets, to get your dating platform, somewhere visible. So my advice would be to focus on creating some specific niche, which will talk, to the specific audience. That would
Yeah.
be easier, then to find at least whom to address it and how to speak to this audience. Then, number three, which we work really hard from our side, is that we focus on the user journey and not just match. Because, I mean, let's be honest, effective dating platform, I mean, from the user perspective, will be like I join the dating site, I get matched with the beautiful man, smart, we fall in love, we get married, and I leave the dating site after the first day, I
Yeah.
mean, that with the dream come true. But for the dated side, unfortunately, it's not the reality because they do not make money like this, right? They need to keep the
Right.
users a little bit longer. But to keep users longer, it's either you provide just bad matches, bad service, so they keep searching without being happy, or you actually provide them some interesting features, some, I don't know, in-app games which they can play
Hmm.
together, getting to know each other, or video chat functionalities which they can also use on your platform before they moving out, or anything that actually creates value for the user, for the
Yeah.
people, but also keeps them on the platform.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
that's really important. Yeah, of course, the business model, be experimental. Do not just be greedy, for the subscription, and pay me a lot of money upfront. Be smarter, be more flexible, experiment with freemium model. I think that's the future there for the dating business. And yeah, AI is also quite important in dating as any other, to be honest, industry, and especially in high risk, because AI helps not to replace people but helps to analyze user behavior, in many different aspects faster, and that's what
Hmm.
important.
Okay, I see. So now walk us through how Hit Pixel addresses these challenges. What makes your approach unique?
Interesting. I think let's talk then about how AI transformed our approach to
Okay.
address B2C users and clients, yeah, and how it helped us to increase our customer engagement. Because I think that will be a little bit unique, differentiator of us from some other of our competitors who are also very strong, to be honest.
Right.
So number one, I think, which AI gives at it's how it reshaped our approach to B2C marketing and customer satisfaction, customer support. If before it was more broad or even segment based model, to now it actually goes to hyper personalized, real time segmentation.
Yeah.
So, for example, dynamic content. Our AI algorithm go through the customer's browse history, and it doesn't matter if it's the dating site or you sell, I don't know, sport equipment, or you
Yeah.
sell I don't know, clothes or whatsoever it is. It's anyway the browse
E-commerce
history.
one. Yeah.
Exactly. Then past purchases, then geographic, for example, location, especially for the dynamically moving people. If, for example, you understand that California is his home and he's buying from there usually something, for home, for garden, for kids. But then if he's in Boston, he's on the business trip and he probably needs, to see absolutely different type of goods. Maybe he forgot his I don't know, some power bank, and he needs to buy it on some cables for the phone, or even some book to read, So then, even knowing that kind of information about the user, you can already dynamically personalize the content which he would see on your site at the first, top places,
Yeah.
spots that can
Right.
be interesting for him. And then out of this, of course, comes predictive recommendations. So we invest heavily into AI models which work on the prediction of what customers might want to buy next. And that's, of course, a very complex thing. That's again not a one solution that we built and we are happy about. It's being developed, relearned, re-educated on the daily basis. That's an ongoing process, but it gives us a lot of opportunities to provide better targeted promotion campaigns.
Yeah.
It gives marketing managers opportunities to create retargeting campaigns for the users who might leave, or haven't used, us, our product, services, whatever, for a while. So it gives us a lot of opportunities, and that's, I think, where the future also is. So that's for the personalization, yeah, of the data. Then we also work a lot with the customer engagement, and I think that's actually the key focus of 2025 for us. So for this whole year, that's our biggest priority and goal. So we built our AI powered chatbots and virtual assistants on our own platform, which works, of course, 24/7 around the clock, being trained for different types of high risk businesses, etc. And our bots can not only answer the common, simple questions about, I don't know, opening times, shipping, returns, pricing packages, and blah blah blah, like this
Yeah.
FAQ, kind of things. But they also handle and track the already the troubleshooting situations. So which significantly, of course, reduces customer wait time and problem resolving time, and then it boosts satisfaction. We see it on the monthly basis how we work with different segments of users. Like we have, elite users, we have middle spenders, low spenders, new users. We have different
Yeah.
different types of segmentation, and we can monitor how much it helps in different segments, to improve the customer satisfaction, just because the chat agent is being able to reply to the question faster, precise, yeah, or escalated to the human, to the operator when it's needed immediately, not to lead it to the
Yeah.
frustration
Makes sense.
or angry emotions, from the user. And another part of that is sentiment analysis. So our AI chatbot learns what was the history of each specific user, helps to summarize and bring it to the chat operator or customer support operator, especially if we have a long history with the customer, in a brief way. Also, it gives the narrative, if the customer is already angry, frustrated, disappointed, is about to leave the platform, wants a refund, or about to ask refund, like all of these kind of things, which helps immediately the customer support manager to get the right script on how to
Yeah.
handle the situation, to resolve it in the most efficient way. So that's, as I said, this kind of like one direction, this AI powered chatbots for assistance and sentiments analysis is our like one big goal for 2025.
Yeah, makes sense. I see now. And because we are talking about the AI, so how do you use AI to improve affiliate traffic targeting and reduce costs for your partners?
A lot of things we are doing, and a lot of things which we still want to do, to be honest, and still, it's in our pipeline because, again, AI is an instrument, but it's not the magic wand. Unfortunately, it's not click and play. You need to be smart. You need to be ready to not only implement, but also to analyze the data you receive as AI. So that's why you and your team need to be ready, like constantly, keep learning on everything that you receive. Question if the data, is correct, if the data is not biased, because that was, collected by,
Yeah,
uh, you know, um, before by the human, etc., etc. So anyway, what we're doing right now, it's as I already said, it's the biggest, I think, impact is in hybrid targeted marketing campaigns, through which we want to reduce our cost for the traffic acquisition. So
yeah,
that's the main goal of having AI for our marketing strategies. What we do a couple of the things. For example, number one, we do the predictive analytics. So where AI analyzes historical data to identify which affiliates, channels, sources, campaigns are
yeah.
most likely to convert high value customers for this specific campaign, product,
Hmm.
service, site, whatever it is. This allows, of course, our partners and clients to focus their efforts on what works and reduce all the rest. Of course,
Hmm. Yeah,
that cuts the extra cost immediately. Then dynamic personalization. All right, we made the prediction. We launched personalized ad creatives, landing pages, so whatever it is, But then what happens? Like we have the AI models on our platform, which help to, in the real time, on the go, without the human help, stop the campaigns if it sees that it doesn't perform in the way it was predicted and anticipated, or increase the budget for some campaign which actually performs, better than even, the predictions. So it
yeah,
works again 24/7, so helping to maximize the revenue where it's possible, on the second basis, and minimize on something which doesn't work at this moment because of whatever reason. There is a typhoon on the Philippines, and right now they usually bought this product very well there, but right now there is a typhoon. Just because it's happening right now, this
yeah,
campaign doesn't work. Or there is a strike somewhere, I don't know, in the airport, or so all of these kind
yeah.
of things,
It
they
happens.
have a huge impact. But manually to monitor all of that 24/7 and being able to adjust hundreds of thousands of running campaigns on the go, it's impossible task, or I mean, it's impossible task for the
Yeah,
people. So that's where AI is very helpful. Then here we also include real-time optimization. I already covered that. So, it optimizes the campaigns, as I already explained. And one of key aspects which we also heavily invest into for the last already year, it's fraud detection. So AI algorithm monitor for suspicious activity, such as click fraud or fake leads, protecting budgets, then, to block those rather than spend money on it,
Yeah.
and making the campaigns then more efficient and reducing CPA, CPDs for our clients and partners.
Yeah, so basically this was my next question about the fraud and such, but you gave me an insights before.
Yeah, that's a big part, of course, of everything. And yeah, fraud detection, as I said, is the key priority for us with the help of AI. We used before the third parties, but we were not happy completely for that, for even our own businesses, and products. So that's why we decided to invest into that. And yeah, it's better, and of course, we can also like leverage that percentage, of trust for the fraud detection. And as business owners, we or you, whoever uses this platform, can decide, how much you want to trust this. But for us, it showed on multiple businesses and geos a very high percentage of correct fraud
Yeah,
detection replies. So yeah, that's really important to have it.
yeah, interesting things. And I often find that innovative solutions face initial skepticism. So, what's the most common reaction you get on explaining hit pixel to potential clients for the first time?
I think pretty positive to say that we're, as I said, in the industry for around 20 years. We are presented globally. We work also globally in different geos. So it means, right, that we have the respect and trustworthiness, from different industries, clients, partners, for a long period of time. It means that, we are productive, that we are self-efficient, that we are trustworthy, that we are probably communicating clearly to everyone with whom we interact, that probably our solutions can improve the KPIs for companies with whom we work,
Yeah.
and increase the revenue and profit margins as well. So I believe that's, whole kind of building the picture.
Okay, okay, makes sense. And also, could you share a specific success story of a client who saw significant results using your solution?
Yeah, I will not name the names,
Yeah.
give the names. I think it's, a little bit too much. But a couple of the things probably I will mention. So the first one, we have cooperated with one of strong dating companies, US based. They're already in the industry for many years, but they felt like their chat platform is outdated and doesn't provide. For their customer support issues, for their customer support teams, doesn't provide enough solutions to the issues that they have. So
Hmm.
what we onboarded them on our platform, right? And we started to work with them in a couple of direction. One of the direction was that we set up the automatically routing chats to the right specialist based on the customer's query. So, for example, if we know that the customer has an issue with the payment decline, it's better to send them to the specialist in customer support team who understand how to resolve those issues, with the
Yeah.
bank, the cards, etc., etc. If, for example, the client has the issue with, I don't know, registration or some fraud suspicions or whatever, then the system automatically understands whom it's better to assign this ticket
Yeah.
to. So then the problem will be resolved faster. And not only that, our automatic routing chat system also takes into the consideration the scores of the operators, of the
Hmm.
customer support
Yeah.
operators. Know that, for example, Johnny has the highest, ranking in resolving conflict situation. So it's better if the user is already angry, frustrated, and upset, etc. It's
Hmm.
better to redirect him to Johnny rather than to someone else who actually never dealt with such kind of,
Hmm.
customers.
Yeah.
So that's, again, match between the issue of the user, the sentiment with which the user comes with, and the best operator, the best human, the best person to handle this issue. So that's number one. Number two is we integrated and activated actually for them our suggestion system, so which automatically, thanks to AI, provides the recommendations on instant answers to customer support managers. So what to say, how to react, what not to say, what to avoid to say, which is also very important, not to trigger,
Yeah.
some anxiety from user side. So that system actually helped as well and reduced the churn ratio for this client, which I think which was a great result. Then I already said about that a little bit, that we were working hard on building the model for analyzing the sentiment of the agents, and we built also the retention system. So what customer support operator can offer to the frustrated, for example, angry user, or can offer actually to the happy, and satisfied with everything user, as thank you kind of note.
Yeah.
So based on the sentiments, we built the retention program, and we managed to save up to 16% of the users who wanted to cancel account and to receive a refund from doing that. And I think
Hmm.
that's also a great success story.
Yeah.
And another big project with them was the automation of post-chat tasks. So the issue was with them that they have customers report that is a company based in the US, but their data insights are available in 16 different geos, in languages and everything. So they have different customer support team members across the world. And of course, when the customer support team receives some feedback about technical issue, or some product, issue, it's sometimes difficult for them to explain it on the proper kind of language back to the technical team or product owner, or logistic center, what happened. So then we added this automation post chat analysis, which actually goes through the whole conversation with whether it's a phone call or it's a chat or it's an email, doesn't matter. It gets all the information together with the history and everything, and gets like the to-do list assigned already to Jira as the tasks
Hmm.
to the appropriate departments. If more
Yeah.
information needed, then they actually get together, analyze, ask questions. They can go back actually to the user in case something is not clear enough. So it's different than
Right.
scenarios how to resolve the issue. But this automation system, which also works first, reduce the administrative work, reduce the time when the issue from being reported to being assigned to the proper department. Also actually uses pretty high, because we used a pretty big significant data, for training this model. So it's pretty professional to translate, the problem into the task, which
Yeah.
many customer support operators do not know how to do it. So again, we saw significant growth in bug fixing, improvement in site speed, and reduce in general in the complaints regarding those issues. So then more operators actually were free, because they didn't receive
Yeah.
those calls, and they could be focused on resolving some other issues, or actually even decreasing the amount of people in the department. So that's, I
Right.
think, one of the examples I can give. But again, um, all of this can be applied to any type of business, right? Because who would not
Yeah.
need it? And
100%.
yeah, so that's my point. Talking about one example is just illustration of what and how it can be used for any other business.
Yeah, interesting examples.
Thank you.
And now, looking at the broader industry, what key trends are you seeing emerge?
Key trends. Everyone is talking about that. I don't want to. I don't want to be in a know it all. Yeah, but I will just share my expectations and kind of my vision as CEO and where I would lead. The company, the business I'm responsible for. In the future. So number one is. As I already said about that, AI for hyper personalization. I think that AI will not only recommend products, but also create the tailored content, like personalized product description, personalized marketing messages, that will be adapting in real time to customer behavior and preferences at this time, based on the online activity that he's doing, either
Yeah.
clicking somewhere, choosing something, watching something, etc., etc., because we're all different, and in January I was interested in marmot, animals, for example, and I was watching, buying t-shirts with those animals and everything. But in July, I'm like completely over marmots, and I'm interested, I don't know, in types of the palms existing in the world, so, and then,
Yeah.
I need this kind of information. So we all change, and building just one like persona as it was before for the user doesn't work any longer, because everything
Right.
is so changeable in this world. So I think the big future and even more things will be happening with hyper personalization. Number two is, that's what I said as a focus for our 2025, is AI agents and proactive services. So we want all our businesses, our B2C businesses, instead of waiting for a customer to contact us, our businesses, yeah, we want instead our AI agents to predict customer needs and proactively offer through the personal channels of communication, advertising, retargeting campaigns, and so, et cetera,
Interesting.
some
Yeah.
solutions which can be needed, yeah,
Yeah.
for the user at that moment. Like, for example, if the users, we know that he searched for some sailing tours, so maybe he will be interested in sailing gears or sailing clothes, or some guides, regarding that, or some sailing
Yeah.
schools, so something like this. And that's AI agents for the let's say marketing, but also AI agents in business intelligence, in BI. Everyone is working hard on it, Tableau and all other services, and no one is there yet. We are using APIs from a lot of different other companies who are strong in AI business intelligence. It's still not there, but I
Yeah.
believe that's where the future is. So there will be that AI agent which will be proactively again looking for some anomalies, in the numbers or KPIs, on the go, and offering, where to look, what to check, which area should be traced by the manager, either it's on the product side or CRM or logistics, or advertising, or some of the partners stopped, reply, whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I think
Makes
it's a
sense.
huge future for that. And the last, I think, but not least, is the rise of this emotional AI. We already now see a lot of like AI psychology, AI trauma coaches, AI, all of that. Any coaches, not just trauma coaches, actually, in many different areas, And I think that AI is becoming more and more advanced, and that understanding and interpreting customer sentiment through text, through voice, through video. It's definitely not there yet, but I'm sure that in the future it will allow businesses to deliver more empathic and
Hmm.
emotionally intelligent, not only campaigns, but I would say experience for the
Yeah.
clients, because all together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's my vision of where it will go to, at least from my perspective, with the businesses I am involved into, and I want to make and grow bigger. So yeah, let's see
Yeah.
if I'm right.
Impressive vision.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
And now, having worked with numerous businesses in the space, I've noticed some common pitfalls. So, what mistakes do you see companies making when trying to tackle these challenges?
Okay. It's actually interesting question, because we even see it inside of our company with our internal teams, even though we invest a lot into making our projects stronger, better, we experiment a lot with AI, but still, some fears are there. So I think I see a couple kind of main fears or misconceptions or misunderstandings across different companies, teams, who think about trying AI for their businesses.
Okay.
Number one, I think the biggest one, which I already said as well, is that AI is a magic wand, that will solve all your problems. That's not the reality. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. AI is a tool. It's not a solution itself. It requires a clear business problem. It requires the high quality data. It requires or also the professional human oversight to be effective. And no chatbot can fix any fundamentally broken customer support, for example, process or marketing strategies or user journey on the site. No one. I mean, that's impossible, but it can help you to identify the issue, suggest possible solutions, automate some routine so your people, your team are focused on more fundamental things, and evaluate, monitor, post results,
Hmm.
what it gave and what it didn't give. So yeah, AI is not a magic wand. It's not the Harry Potter world. Then another actually issue which I see, and it will be very contra universal. So some companies, some founders, some people say we need perfect, pristine data for AI to work, and until we have it, we have nothing to start with. And I do not agree with it, because a lot of AI solutions now are available through third parties who had that data, who made the training based on the huge amount of perfectly structured data and everything, and you can start using that for your business as well, and then tuning it, adjusting it to your according to your internal data needs, results,
Right.
and everything. But you need to be consistent. You need to. It's not like, as I said, you launched it once and you just got the result and that's it. La finita, the end of the movie. No, unfortunately, it's not. It's like ongoing process, and you need, yes, to invest it. Either it's your data or you take the third party solution. That's fine. Start with something, get better understanding of what you can get out of that third party solution, and then think about how to tune it, customize it, or to build it on your own,
Yeah.
also the
Yeah.
solution.
Sure.
Another actually side of that the companies say, or AI is only for the big tech, companies with unlimited budgets. We cannot afford it, and that was the case a couple years ago. I would agree with that. Even like 3 years ago, I would say yes, I kind of agree with that. But right now, the whole AI landscape completely changed. And there are
Hmm.
so many cloud-based AI platforms which are affordable, user-friendly, easy to understand even for not super, techie team members, not that expensive, and solutions trained on nice databases, etc. So right now that's not the case any longer. Just find the problem you want to solve. I don't know, the issue with the CRM, or the problem with the
Yeah.
customer support, or the problem with organizing the scheduling for your on shift team members. Whatever, find the problem which takes a lot of manual work and time, and can be automized, and then simplified. And I can guarantee that there is some, at least, suggestion, if not solution, but suggestion in the industry which you can tackle. And then if something doesn't work right, then you can invest a little bit to tune it according to
Yeah.
your needs.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a couple of the things I'm
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
able to
Thanks for
find.
saying this.
No problem.
And as you wrap up, what's next for Hitpixel? Any exciting developments on the horizon?
We are focused to strengthen our positions everywhere we are, either it's marketing, or it's our communication platforms, or it's payment processing, or it's our fraud alerts. As you can see, it's only the
Yeah.
top kind of things which I mentioned, but it's already a lot. So far, right now is to be clear what our business problems are, identifies areas where AI can significantly impact on the customer experience, such as personalized recommendations, automation of the support, AI agents, predicting customers' churn, etc., etc. Prioritize data quality because of course that's important and we have a lot of data, so that's definitely the new gold and we are sitting on that, so that's important to keep it right, and continue with small high impact pilot projects to resolve those identified issues step by step, like even one issue, like for example with the customer churn, has to be brought down into small sub issues. Then we need to find the potential solution, prove that it works, prove the value, and then build and scale it further.
Hmm.
So that's the plan for us. We don't want to jump into completely something new, but we want to build completely something new on insight we already have in
Yeah.
our company, to become better, to become more efficient, to become more profitable, to give our team members, our team, the time, freedom to invest their skills, knowledge into the innovations, strategical thinking, something bigger,
Yeah.
and what can be automized has to be automized.
Yeah, interesting. And for listeners who want to learn more or potentially work with HitPixel, what's the best way to get in touch?
You have our website. You can probably, you see my name. You can contact me always via the LinkedIn. That's two best ways, and then from either of these channels, either my LinkedIn or the website, you will get the reply, of course, and all advices, and help that you guys might need. Also, again, we might be not fitting, for your problem right now, and that's fine, but it's always good to get to know each other, to keep in touch, and maybe we can recommend some other solution which can work better for you. So I think we should be all open-minded, and yeah, keep the eyes open to the best potential solutions for our businesses.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. So thank you for sharing the insights about you, about the company, and about the whole story. And thank you for this amazing podcast session.
Thank you very much, Alexander, for inviting me here. It was a pleasure talking to you. I hope it was useful to your audience, and I'll be happy to catch up some other time with you.
Yeah, for sure. See you in the next episode.
Thank you. Bye bye.